Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about the Demolisher. When you absolutely, positively need something destroyed, bring out this ship. So the Demolisher is the next ship in my Destroyer series. And as a destroyer, it is a Class B ship that is focused on firepower, and we can just ignore range. Now, as a destroyer, it does need to go ahead and sleep at least four. It has to have a cargo hold, an armory, and an infirmary. And then I want at least 200 fuel, and I aim for 1,000 cargo. Now, this ship ends up falling just short of the 1,000 cargo limit. Um, so it's falling a little short, but in exchange, it can accomplish all of this with a set of three White Dwarf 3015 engines. Now, you could very easily go ahead and modify this, add some extra cargo, stick four engines on, etc. But I thought it was worth running it as is, even though it falls just short of my limits, because, having one less engine also means that you've got more power for all of your guns. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this ship looks from the inside, and then we will show you how it's built, and then take it out for a test drive in Serpentis. Alright, so we enter and we immediately find ourselves in the Nova Galactic Armory. Moving forward, we have the Magellan cockpit. And then moving back, let's hop up first. Directly up of this ladder, we have the docking axis. And up here, we have the Nova Galactic Control Station. Now, if you are not familiar with the Nova Galactic Control Station, the one kind of funny quirk is it does have a working galley. Moving back, though, we find ourselves in the Tayo 2x1 all-in-one. This has the main galley, as well as a fridge, four beds, and a bathroom. And that's it for the upper level. Coming back down here, we find the Nova Galactic 2x2 cargo hold. And then through this door, we find the Nova Galactic 2x1 infirmary. Finally, down this ladder in the cargo hold, we find ourselves in the Tayo 2x1 cockpit. Or not cockpit, captain's quarters. There we go. And that is the entire ship. Fairly small, but it's got everything you need. Alright, so I am making use of the ship flip glitch here, even if mostly just to put these landing gear underneath. So you will need that enabled to go ahead and build this ship. Otherwise, you can see the stats at the bottom. We still have the 27 light year jump range, the 180 top speed of these White Dwarf 3015s, and 87 mobility. But without any skills, we are only at 900 cargo, so this ship is a little bit shorter range than most of my destroyer options. So as usual, I'm going to go ahead and get my colors in my palette. You can see that I went with black, red, and red. And let's go ahead and delete everything and rebuild it. So I am using the Hope 4 landing bay, and I'm using this one specifically so that way I have these side connection pieces for the landing gear. Now, on top of this, I'm going to go ahead and place the Nova Galactic 2x1 armory. Directly behind it, I'm going to go ahead and place the Nova Galactic 2x2 cargo hull. On this side, I'm going to place the Nova Galactic 2x1 infirmary. On top of the armory, I'm going to go ahead and place the Nova Galactic 2x1 control station. Push that forward. And then behind that, I'm going to come on down to tile, and I'm going to grab the top B all in one. And then on the bottom here, I'm going to grab the bottom B, captain's quarters. Then, on top of the rear section of the control station, I'm going to go ahead and place my docker. And then on the front of the armory, I'm going to go ahead and place my Magellan C2X cockpit. And there we have it. That is all the habitable portions of this ship. So what's next? Let's go ahead and grab our landing gear. Actually, let's grab our cargo, since we're right here anyways. So for this ship, I stuck on a pair of Gamma 1020 cargo holds, directly attached to the front side of the captain's quarters. And 2 of those is all that it took. Now, when I was doing some experimenting around with trying to hit 1,000 cargo with this ship, I was looking at going ahead and putting on like a 100 cm ballast cargo hold, or possibly swapping out the 1020s for, say, the 400 cm ballast cargo holds. However, every time I messed with that, the extra mass ended up pushing my mobility below 80, which would then mean that I need to add an extra engine, which then led to a whole bunch of extra iterations. So this was the compromise that I made there. Alright, cargo's in place. Let's go ahead and grab my landing gear. So I'm using the Hope 6 landing gear on this ship. Got it connected to the rear connection point of the landing bay. And then I have the rear variation, which I need to flip glitch into place underneath the infirmary and the cargo hull. Just like so. Alrighty. Next up, we are right over here, so let's grab those engines. So I have 3 White Dwarf 3015s. Let me pull that off really quick. Alright, now that they're in place, I can put that back on. There we go. And this was enough to give me 87 mobility once everything was said and done. Now, directly in the centerpiece here, I'm going to go ahead and place my reactor. Now, since I am a Class B, I am of course using the 104 DS Mag Inertial. And then, directly behind that, for my grav drive, I grabbed a Helios 300. There we go. Alrighty. Next up... Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. This should be pushed back one. There we go. Knew it was looking slightly funny. Alright, now that I've got that back in place, let's go ahead and look at fuel. So for this ship, I have a pair of the M50 Ulysses HE3 tanks located on each side of the ship. Alright, Now all I need is my shield and my weapons and all my structure. So let's go ahead and come on over to shields. So as a Class B ship, I am of course using the 28T Defender Shield Generator. Now, I had been doing a lot of fiddling with this ship, and in the end, despite me not really liking it, the only way that I could hide this effectively was to go ahead and place it underneath the fuel tank. Usually I try and avoid having the two things that actually do something on the ship overlap, but the other options that I explored, which mostly boiled down to trying to hide it under a Nova cowling up here, I couldn't get the ship to accept the attachments. Alrighty, so as I said, all we've got now is structural elements. So let's start adding those. Starting all the way up here at the top, we'll just kind of scroll down until we find things. I've got a Deimos radiator. And then another Deimos radiator. And a spine A. And since we're back here anyways, let's go ahead and grab that Deimos tail. Alright. And then we've got our Deimos wings. I've got 4 of these on the ship. Just like so. One of the things that I had been experimenting with is instead of using the Deimos wings, I was using the Nova cowling side pieces. However, Deimos wings are 3 mass and the Nova cowlings are 8. And I kept pushing my mass up too high and losing too much mobility with just 3 engines. So that's why I ended up going Deimos here instead of Nova. Alright, let's scroll down some more. Ah, yes, the Nova cowlings. So for this ship, I am putting Nova cowlings down the side. Just like so. Next, I have the Nova cowling top piece. Place it somewhere, and then I'm going to flip that into place over the cockpit. Just like so. And then I have a pair of the Nova radiators. These are the small ones. Placed in front of the HE3 tanks. Continuing on down, I have the Nova wings. Now, these are actually flipped into place, connected to the Deimos wing and the front of the infirmary, or on this side, the cargo hold, and clipping into the HE3 tank. At various points, I tried flipping them other ways to use them as weapon mounts, but in the end, I kind of liked this more. Continuing to scroll on down, I believe that is all the structural elements on this ship. Yep. Alright. So that leaves us with weapons. Now, for this ship, I am using 3 Vaporizer 35 MeV auto proton beams. These are the Class A ones. There we go. And then I am using 3 of the Exterminator 95 auto helion beams. And then finally, I am using 4 PBO 175s. And as you can see, that is everything. So now we just got to paint the ship. And we are ready to go demolish something. Alrighty then. So, not that one. Let me just pop in here really quick so you can see the stats after skills. You can see with the payload skill, I'm at 1350 cargo. And I've got 44 reactor because I've got the anitronic fusion skill. Alright, now let's go ahead. Come on out here to Serpentis. Alright. Alright. There we go. Alright, so 2 ships, no problem. More of the problem was navigating all the rocks. Alrighty, let's go ahead and check out this hostile activity. Okay, I've got 4 targets. Alright. Two down. Three down. And here's 4. And that was over fast. Now, none of those were elites. So, it's understandable that it wasn't really a challenge. But we still have enough cargo that we can actually afford to pick up all of our loot. Alright. Let's come on over here. probably have enough time to try hitting up 2 more planets. And as you can see with the engine systems and the a Dirge 3. Ooh, we've got 3 targets here. But this Dirge needs to stop boosting away from me. Alright. There's 3 down. Got a revelation and whatever that last thing is. Quite the revelation to them that their ship will not survive, I'm sure. Alrighty, and a vigil. Okay. Alrighty. So revelations are usually a little bit tougher as one of these C-class ships. And of course the Dirge 3s are at least rank 3 enemies, so that's probably more challenging than the 4 enemies that the hostile encounter. Dodge all of the space debris. Ooh, a Revelation 2. There we go. So, to hopefully no one's great surprise, a Class B ship maxed out with White Dwarf 3015s and good weapons works well. So, I'm actually going to go ahead and call it there, take a couple pictures. So if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one.